So hey everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. So I decided to just record this part straight away just because I might as well, since I have the pencil colours out currently. So I'm going to basically in this part just finish off our background squares here with our colour. So we're going to come in obviously with our pinky purpley sort of tones this time, and I really need to sharpen some of those pencils. So just quickly do that. You can tell I'm going to pay from this, but I'm just enjoying it too much to stop. I'm loving doing it. Breathe me. All good. We'll get there. So yes, so we're going to continue with our pinky sort of tones here. So I'm going to start with my Fabercastell Polychromos, and I'm going to start with my middle purple pink because this is my darkest tone, and we kind of want to do the shadows. Let's see, how are we going to work this best? I don't know. Yeah, we're going to start, we're basically going to follow the shadows of this bottom area with our area along here. I'm just trying to work out, I'm probably going to have to do it like this, I think, for some of these bits. So let's see. Stay pencil, stop rolling. It annoys me when they roll underneath my colouring book or my hands. Silly, but yeah. So we're going to start with our middle purple pink, and we just want to do a line along there as well as just a light area for allowing our blending of the next colour. And I'm following just these areas. Obviously some of these are slightly different with the angles and things like that, but it is. I almost think there should be a different purple because that's, I don't know if it's the right coloured purple, if there should be another purple, because it seems like below, but then it's not the really deep purples I would usually use. Hi Nils, good girl. What are you doing, Missy? So I'm just looking here at my art book and just trying to compare a bit with what we've got there. But it does look the same, so I think it's the same sort of thing. Let's just see. I think it is. Just trying to correct this a little while I was doing it. I got distracted again. You know, I think it'll work. I think that's what it is, so we'll just use that and hopefully it'll be the same. Fingers crossed. Oh, Lils, you bring your pig out, your antelope out at the wrong time, don't you, boo-boo? Oh, she's funny. When she wants attention, she wants attention. And she seems to choose the times when I'm recording to want attention. I think this is the right, I hope I'm doing the right colour tone. I hope. I'm just trying to work out, is it actually 3 or... I think there's 4 colour tones, but I'm not sure. I'm so confused because it's been a while since I did it, and I now have to sort of check and work things out, and I'm just, would have been easier to just finish it off rather than stopping it and doing the colouring competition, and now coming back to it and realising, because now I've forgotten completely what I was doing and what colours I was using, and it's left me totally, utterly confused. It has, because I'm trying to work out, I think there's like 4 colours there, but I can't remember for sure because I wrote the wrong pencil colour. It's almost like light magenta, middle purple pink, light purple pink. I had a crimson written on there, but that obviously wasn't the right colour because it didn't turn it out to the right shades when I looked at it, when I tested it. But it almost seems like I did have a bit of a purple in there, but then I didn't see purple when I showed the colours on my first video, so guess I'll just do this and hope it works out right. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. And I think there's like either 3 or 4 colours there. I can't work it out. I'm trying to look at this, and kind of what I see is it's kind of stumping me because it's like, is there 3 or 4 colours or what? Because some of the colours have rubbed off as we've gone, and it's like I don't know which colour is where, but it does look like there's a bit of a purpley colour there, but and that colour doesn't look purpley enough. I'm just going to pause for a minute and do a bit of experimenting, because maybe the fuchsia colour that I thought was confused with the crimson, maybe that isn't the colour, maybe there is a bit of a purple there. I don't know, I just want to stop and test because obviously I'm very confused right now. So I will see you back shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I worked it out finally. It was actually crimson. The confusion was it was a purpley crimson. It wasn't the crimson that I found. So it took me a while to actually find the purpley crimson colour. So it's like, that makes sense. So now it all works. Yes, good. Which means now I'm actually going to have to come in with our Fabercastell Polychromos Crimson, and so that colour still is a colour that is used, so don't worry about it, it's not a mistake, it still will be used. We will be bringing it in with the next part, but this is where our purpley tone comes from, which is I'm so relieved to finally work that out. So relieved. But this is we still will be using that crimson colour, or that middle purple pink, or whichever, so don't fret over it, just colour over it because it will be being used in here obviously, so it really doesn't matter. It's not like a huge mistake or anything because the colour still is being used in the image kind of thing, so really does not matter one iota that I made that mistake. I think I am going to have to fix up some of those colour areas because they're kind of bugging me with the way the colours started rubbing off and that down there. Sometimes being perfectionist isn't a good thing. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it isn't. So I just quickly want to touch up these areas because they are kind of bugging me. I know, silly, but they are, and I wish I love the Polychromos pencils, but I wish the colour didn't sort of rub off like they seem to do, and I can't work out what causes them to just, like, because they're light fast and stuff, what causes them to lose so much colour, because it's like they're light fast and yet the colour just rubs off that easily that it's kind of like, ugh, it's kind of almost like, I love these pencils, I love the colours, but it's almost kind of disappointing when you see the colour rubbing off right before your very eyes, before you're even done with the image. It kind of is. And I have noticed too, just be careful because the gel pen does smudge a little. I had it smudge a little on a couple of these spots when I was trying to retouch things up. But you'll notice that the colour is definitely improving, but see here, even already the colour's already started rubbing off a bit, and it's like, why does it do that kind of thing? It just, I know you can't always tell from the distance, but it's like, I do not want to see pencil colour rubbing off. Like, I'm not happy with that. And yeah, I love the Polychromos. I can't wait till I get something that means that I'm not having to rest my hand on the page when I'm using it, because then maybe I won't be having to deal with so many touch-ups due to my hands rubbing off the colour from the Polychromos pencils. It is, because that is something that's sort of, I know it's silly, but it's like, for me, keeping that colour on there, because I go to so many lengths to get it all blended nicely in that, I don't really want things rubbing off. Like, obviously I'm still using the pencils, obviously I'm still enjoying them, and they are one of my few light fast pencils, but I don't like how, like it happens even with the Prismacolor pencils and that too. I don't like how faint colour just rubs off and then you have to touch it up if you want that colour, that proper colour there again. And yeah, for me, it is something that annoys me because I go to such great lengths to get the colours looking right and working well and all of that, only to have it just rub off due to the slightest pressure of my hand and or something like that. And it's like, to me, it's like, it doesn't feel very good to see that happening. But then I am a bit more perfectionist as well. But it just is something that I still haven't been able to work out exactly why it happens. I try to minimize colour, rub off and everything, and by using the cloth, because I notice with your hands, with the oils from your hands, it was even worse with the colour rub off. So that's why I use the cloth. But even with the cloth I still get it. So I'm hoping to see a major improvement when I am able to, shall we say, colour it without my hand actually rubbing or even touching the page, because then I'll be able to know that I am not rubbing or removing any of that colour. Like, I know pages rubbing against each other, etc., can cause rub off as well. So it might not even be the fact that I'm colouring. It could be some of the fact that I'm colouring. It could be some of the fact of other things. There could be many different reasons for it happening. But it is something that annoys me, but I do love the Polychromos pencils, so I keep using them anyway. But yeah, it's just a major issue I've noticed, but I do notice it with the Prismacolor pencils as well. But because they're wax based, I think they stick a lot more, but there is the risk of wax blend with them. But yeah, at the same time, I really love how the Polychromos pencils allow you to really sort of get those finer details more set in stone and stuff like that, because of the fact that they are an oil-based pencil, and as a result the letter's slightly harder and different and all of those sorts of things, and I like that aspect of them. Yeah. But then it probably doesn't bother most people. Like, I've asked people about it before with the white spots and stuff that I notice, and other people don't even notice them, and they're like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything there that you're picking at. I don't see the problem with it, and blah blah blah, and they don't notice those sorts of things. So yeah, I guess part of it comes down to it's annoying me because I am picky and I like my images and colourings and stuff to look really good. But I really do love the Fabercastell Polychromos pencils, because they're one of the few pencil sets I have which have light fast pencils in it, which allows me to be able to do more pieces with more of a light fast rating. Like, obviously not all of them had the best light fastness, but I think there's only a few that are like 1 star or something like that in them. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, just for me it's disappointing because I really want to see the pencil colours. They're bright and vibrant how I made them. I don't want to see the colours rubbing off and turning white because the paper's showing through and the letter's removable. But maybe that's just a normal part of how these sorts of pencils are. Maybe they're more chalky and have more remnants of the things like the wax Prismacolor pencils and that do than I realised. I really would have no idea. It's certainly possible. But yeah, it's just something that I've noticed with these pencils. Like, it's not going to stop me from using them, but I do intend on finding another way so that when I'm using these pencils I can do it more without worrying about that colour removal of the pencils, because I love using these pencils. I love the colours they provide, the depth they provide, all of that stuff. It's just, yeah, I don't like the fact that I lose colour of my image right now with the way I colour things, because of the way I need to colour things too. And yeah, as my friends and everyone call me, I'm too perfectionist for my own good. So yeah, that is just something that I have noticed, and I would say to watch out for with the Polychromos pencils. I'm not saying to stop using them because of that. There is no reason to stop using them. They're amazing pencils. They have really great colour range and colour depth and stuff in them, and I really enjoy using these pencils, and I like the fact that they are that bit firmer than, like, they still go down really nicely and everything, but they are that little bit firmer than, like, say, the Polychromos Prismacolor pencils, which I've noticed the leads break a lot easier than the Faber-Castell Polychromos, and so for me they are amazing pencils that I love, and I really intend to keep using them for things, and obviously pieces I do for possible sale or for exhibitions or stuff, I will obviously be using the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, because they allow me to know that the majority of them are between 1 and 2 star in the light fastness rating, which means in the right conditions they will last for a while. I'm not going to have to worry about people getting upset because the image is fading really fast or anything. At the same time, that is just the one little thing that annoys me about them, is the colour rub off, and it happens with all pencils with I'm getting tongue-tied with Prismacolor and Derwent Studio and all the rest. It happens with all the different brands of pencils, which I guess is why I want to look into getting like a rest thing where you're not having to rest your hand on the page, but it sits over the page, and as a result allows you to colour without that rubbing movement on the page. But for me, I definitely intend on continuing things with the Faber-Castell pencils. I really love them. I love the depth and stuff I achieved. If you follow me on my Facebook or Instagram or any of that, you would have seen, I'm pretty certain you might have seen the finished image. I'm not sure if I've shared it everywhere, but Instagram at least, I shared the finished image, I think. But yeah, I really love the colours and the depth and stuff that I got out of that, but yeah, just that colour transference is the thing that bugs me, but obviously it's not going to stop me from using them because it's only a very minor thing in the scheme of things, and I can still touch things up and fix things up and all of that. So yeah, and I think I didn't finish this, but I do like how the leads don't break as often as unless you accidentally drop them, or there is the rare fault, but obviously that happens with every type of pencil company or every type of pencil brand. But the leads seem to last a lot longer, the pencils last a lot longer. They're a bit firmer, they're a bit more of a harder sort of pencil, like I would say not like really hard. The leads are still smooth and easy to go on and glide on and stuff like that, but I'd say compared to the wax leads, these leads are a lot firmer and seem to be more secure. They don't seem to be as prone to breakage as like the Prismacolor does. And yeah, so, but these are just things that I'm noticing. The more I use my pencils, the more I notice like these little differences, or the way things lay down, or the way the colour transfers or rubs off or any of that. Like I've noticed it even with the Prismacolor pencils, so it obviously happens with all the pencils, and obviously it's just something to do with the movement of your hand and the way you're rubbing it, and obviously skin oils and all of that sort of thing. Even using a cloth only reduces so much because you're still getting the vibrations and the movement and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I am hoping to work out doing like an adjustable pencil rest kind of thing, where a hand rest, where as I'm doing things I can go and rest my hand on there, on that rest, without having it rubbing or creating the vibrations on the page that I'm colouring. So yeah, something to look forward to anyway, but either way it doesn't affect my love of these pencils. I would not get rid of them, I wouldn't transfer them, I wouldn't sell them for anything. I really love them. I love the way that I can use them and the depth and shadows and everything that I can get from them. I would definitely highly recommend using these pencils, and I loved every minute of doing my colouring entry specifically for Fabercastell Australia with my Polychromos pencils, and I got to try their pit pens as well because I needed a black pit pen in the end to do the black background, and I had to use the white pit pen at times to hide, as you'll see, pencil lines here. Even though I erased them, I still had pencil lines showing, and you'll see that in some of my, when I get to do the tutorials and stuff and voice over those things, you'll see that sort of happening. And as a result, I got to also experiment with the white pit pen by Faber-Castell, which I really actually enjoyed using. I actually found that between laying that over, like, it's not because I think the different types are, some are more of a brighter white than others. Like, I got the brush type pit pen in the white because I thought the calligraphy pen might not quite suit what I was wanting to do with it. And I did notice on videos I was looking at online, it seems the calligraphy pen provides a lot brighter white than the brush version that I got. But at the same time, I found that brush version was the type that I needed because even though it didn't take away all the colours, through doing multiple layers and using the pencil colour on top of that, which I was actually able to do once it was dry without it all rubbing off, it actually worked quite well and sort of provided highlights on the petals. So yeah, go away, bug. So yeah, that's just something that I noticed anyway. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come in with the middle purple pink. So this is where we go back to our middle purple pink. And Buggy, can you go away, or I'm going to squish you underneath my book because I do not want you there right now. Go away, go away, go away. Looks like we're getting little black bugs in, which usually is a sign of rain coming. But yeah, so we're going to come back in with our middle purple pink. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to share with you these little things that I'm discovering and learning about the pencils as I go, because even though you all say, oh, I know so much and I do so well with this stuff and blah blah blah, it's like, well, I actually don't know everything. I'm still constantly learning new things as well. I'm constantly still experimenting. That's why with this one I sort of tried doing part of it before I brought it on camera in case it didn't work, because I wasn't sure that it would work and stuff like that. So it's like, maybe I do have some natural talent and stuff, maybe I am good at it, but it doesn't mean that I'm not still learning, that I don't know absolutely everything. Like, there's times people will request something and I will go and practice things before I share anything online, tutorial wise, because it's like, I don't know how to do it. So it's like, yeah, it's very much, I guess, me learning as I go as well. So, and because I am here doing tutorials and stuff, I like to share what I discover or what I learn about the pencils, or how the colour works, or if it transfers off a bit, or any of that stuff, so that I can share it with you, so that you all sort of have an idea about that and can also figure out ways to try and minimise the colour transference as well, so that then you have to do less touch-ups and stuff as well. So that's kind of my goals with it all, but it definitely wouldn't stop me from using these pencils, because I really love how the colours come out and the colour depths and just the changes in the colours and all of that. It's amazing. And yeah, definitely not something that I would say not to get them for, because it's possible to happen with any type of pencil. It is just something that I've noticed a lot more recently, since I've been doing a lot more with my art and pencils and stuff like that, and I've been starting to notice that you may get it looking really good at first, but then the colour starts sort of flaking off, but then that happens with all pencils. So, because I've even noticed it in ones that I've finished ages ago, that some of the colour is doing that as well. So yeah, for me the only thing I can think of is that's not an issue of the pencils, but more an issue of the way you're colouring it and the vibrations and movements of your hand and blah 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 that's causing it. And as a result, for me, I think, well, in that case I need to find something else that allows me to still do my art properly, but at the same time keep my hand off the page, kind of thing. And yeah, hopefully when my friend is able to, we'll be able to measure my colouring books so that we can, because I've noticed online these things, and he's offered to make one for me. So yeah, it'll be good. I look forward to it because that's the only way that I can think of reducing that colour transference even more than what I currently am, by using the cloth. And because I'm using the cloth, it is limiting the amount of skin oil from my hands, and because as you all know, skin naturally produces oil, so it's reducing that. Like before I started using this cloth, I would come away with some areas nearly white, and my skin / hand would be the colour of that area. It's like, okay, that doesn't work. So yeah, it was kind of, I guess, learning as we go. But yeah, it's definitely not an issue with Fabercastell or anything like that with the Polychromos. It's just to do with the way we colour and do things with the page. And I probably just notice all the more because I am kind of perfectionist and picky at times. Which really doesn't help me. Sometimes I have to physically force myself to go, no, that's it, you've done it, it's good, stop. Because I keep trying to fix up these little areas, and then it rubs off again, and fix it up, and then rubs off again, and yeah. I sometimes spent hours on something that I really didn't need to spend because of that. So I'm just going to pause here briefly because we're 25 minutes in on this part, and then we'll continue with that same colour for the next. And yeah, I'll see you back in a minute. So hey everyone, I'm back. So we're going to continue now with our middle purple pink here. We just want to continue this, obviously as per usual. I don't know if I said this before, but I'm blending it over all the previous colours, and obviously doing a little light area to allow for blending of the next colour. I am. adjust that so that you can see the rest. Hopefully I haven't cut any bits out of frame by accident, because I know that happens at odd occasions. I'm liking how it's coming together though. It's awesome. I'm hoping I'm not making this one a lot darker than the bottom ones. But then the bottom ones could have, like, as the colour erases a bit, I noticed they fade out a bit, but it's kind of looking a bit deeper at the top than the bottom right now. Guess it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. Could just be pressing harder, or who knows what. Could just be time that makes them look a little differently too, because I've noticed that happen before with pieces I've done. So yeah, oh well. Either way, it's going to be awesome. Awesome sauce. Get that in a minute. Somebody just messaged and made me jump again. It always happens when I'm colouring. Yes, Lils. I know. You're a smarty pants. So next, I want to come in with my Fabercastell Polychromos light purple pink, and obviously this isn't our last colour, but some areas it's going to basically be our last colour, just because of the space kind of thing. But obviously we're still going to leave white area because we've got one more colour to come yet. We do, and we want to leave a little bit of a light source, light area for allowing us to blend in our final colour a bit as well. And I'm just quickly going to pause for a minute and then I will be back. So hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry I stopped to check if it was emergency. It was just someone sending a good evening text to me. Yeah, not that I mind, I like that. It's just kind of, I could have kept recording, but yeah, anyway. So we're going to continue with our Fabercastell Polychromos light purple pink here. And we want to keep adding, we obviously want to blend it in, leave white, but also leave a little light area of the light purple pink so that we can blend in our next colour as well when we add it, because we've still got one more colour to add yet. Obviously, as I was saying, I think in another video, it does go faster once you get to these areas because you're just blending it over the top of the others and the space is getting smaller, etc. I think there was more space for that final colour in the other one than there is in some of these. Maybe I'm leaving more and I'm bringing more of the pink out with this area, I'm not sure. Oh well, we do our best. No, I don't mind the good evening messages or whatever. I really don't. It's nice. Nice when people do that. It's just I'm trying to, while the painkiller's still in my system, I'm trying to take advantage of that and get as much recording done as I can. Because I'm going to pay for this after with my wrist and hand. It really will be. But it'll be worth it. At least I hope it'll be worth it anyway. Yeah, the colours are actually quite a bit deeper up here compared to down lower. Quite a bit, but maybe that is time as well, I don't. Who knows? I kind of don't mind anyway. I'm sort of half thinking that the colours at the bottom were probably just as deep, but I'm not sure. They might not have been, I might not have gotten them as deep, but either way, I kind of like the slight difference between them anyway. It works. I don't know how I do that sometimes, but sometimes I do one thing and it ends up being fainter than the other, and it's like, how exactly did I get such a difference between the two? Because I cannot for the life of me work it out. Just like this time I can't work it out again. Maybe it is a difference in pencil pressure or the sharpness of the pencils, or there's many different things, and it's like I can't for the life of me work out how I did that differently, but it's different, and I guess it's gonna have to stay that way because I cannot work out why it is so different. So yeah, it's kind of like, yeah. Somehow I just do it, and I can never work out how when I somehow get two things that are the same looking different with the colour depths. And like the colour depths I kind of can work out because obviously I was using the pencil at different strengths or hardness and stuff like that. But then it's also possible that maybe when I did it, it could have looked like this, but over time it's sort of faded a bit. So, or it could have changed the colour too when I added the final lighter colour on as well. But then, as you'll notice, these browny gold ones, I've done exactly the same colours, but these ones are more faded. But then at the same time, I think these ones are more faded because some of the colours seem to have faded a bit as well. Or not faded as such, but I mean, like, over time it just seems to, sometimes the colours seem to lighten up a little bit even though they haven't been in the light or stuff like that, or as I was saying, the colour rubs off a little bit and that sort of thing. So yeah, who knows? I don't know. I can't work it out. I give up. I'm just confused. Confused. I guess it is what it is. I keep trying to solve it and I never quite work it out. Because there's many things that could cause it, like how hard you're holding the pencil, the sharpness of the pencil, or the bluntness of the pencil, or any number of things. Or even it may lighten up as well once I add on the final colour, but then that still doesn't explain how different these are unless I did just hold the squares are, unless I did just hold them different. But then at the same time I notice these squares don't have the colour rub off like some of these ones do, even though I've touched them up a bit. These ones don't seem to have that as much, so yeah, maybe given time they'll look the same, who knows. But I've also had that happen at times with the colouring book, like I've closed it between one part and the next part I come back and it's like it's faded a bit. So maybe it's to do with the type of paper too, and is that maybe some of the moisture in the pencil lead gets sucked out by the paper, and maybe that changes the colour too. It's just one possibility I wonder about, but I haven't actually googled that one yet. But I wonder. It's curious. Curious thought. But yeah, either way, all good. It is what it is. Still looks good, so that's all that matters, is that it still looks good. Trying not to accidentally take up all the white like I nearly did then. It looks like we're actually getting close to Wow, we're getting close to finishing this background. Got one more colour after this square happens. Well, one more square after this happens that doesn't make sense at all. What I mean is we've got one more pencil colour left to go after we do this square, which will be faster because it's the last colour and just going over everything that remains. But yeah. Hello Lils, yes I heard you snorting again or sighing or huffing or whichever it was. But yeah, maybe it's just me too, but to me there seems to be quite a difference in the colour depths with some of these. But there's many possible explanations for that. Sometimes, as I said, when I walk away from an image, I leave it with this colour. When I come back, it's a lot lighter like this, so yeah, it varies at times and things change, and I guess temperatures change and all of that. Like the light fast pencils obviously aren't going to fade that easily, so it's obviously not because of the light fast pencils, but yeah, either way, it's something I'm curious about, but I know I'll probably never solve it or work it out. So now we're going to come in with our final colour, which is our Fabercastell Polychromos Light Magenta. And we just want to bring that in over all the colours to finish this off, including the areas that don't have any white left in them. Oh, we're not quite done yet. I just realised we still need to do the black gel pen yet. Lucky I remembered that before I switched the thing off. Or stopped recording too. It has faded out a bit from that pencil colour, but still a lot deeper than this side, but who knows, it may change over time, you never know. That's weird, that area won't let me put any colour in it at all. It's like a little white spot there that you probably can't even see. still like the difference, but I don't know. I'm curious to know if they'll look the same later on, because you can probably tell how much brighter this side is compared to this side. There is quite a difference, but at the same time, I don't mind it. Almost like two different types of ribbon strips. Like this one's faded, this one's bright and new, and this one's faded and a bit used. I like it. Either way, it's gonna eventually turn out however it turns out. It happens. That's what hand colouring is, I guess, and doing hand art is things always look unique and end up different. Which isn't a bad thing at all. And I forgot the pinky on that one. Lucky I just spotted it. So any areas you miss, as per usual, just touch them up as you go, kind of thing. Whoops, I might need to move that one up so that you can actually see it before I start in that box. That might help. And there we go. So that's that. Yeah, there is quite a colour difference between the top and the bottom, but it is what it is. Oh, and I almost forgot the black gel pen again. Good one, me. Congratulations. Just be forgetful. So, I almost forgot. But now we're going to do, I have gotten a bit of colour over that black down there. I think it's a bit more faded, but. So now what we want to do is we want to come in with our black Uniball Signo gel pen, 0.7mm. Obviously, if I was going to sell this or something, I would use my Fabercastell Pit pen, which is waterproof and light fast. But because it's just going to stay in a book, I'm not really worried. So I'm just going to use my black Uniball Signo 0.7mm gel pen. And basically what we want to do is we just want to hand draw over our pencil lines just to hide them and cover them up. We do. Trying not to make them too thick. Like I started in the wrong spot there, and it doesn't help with my sore hand right now for doing this. Like you could use a ruler, I guess, but for me I find rulers probably not best, and my camera battery is going to die again, so I'm gonna have to pause again and then I will be back. This one seems to have died faster again, so yeah, I will see you back shortly. So here Okay, well when I'm back, camera battery seems to be dying a lot faster currently, so yeah, I've probably killed the camera batteries. But yeah, so I'm just going to continue here with my black gel pen, obviously trying not to, I can't get it as good as these bottom ones right now because of my hand/wrist, but basically I'm just trying to trace as straight as I can across these lines to fill in and cover up our pencil lines basically. That's pretty much what I want to do, just so that I don't have the obvious pencil lines showing. I do. And I guess that creates kind of like a stained glass kind of effect as well. And I'm going off center there. Okay. So I'm trying to do it as straight a line as I can, and if I can do it as much as possible with just the one line rather than many short strokes, because as you would have noticed with the first one, that makes it look a bit jolty and odd, but the other side has them a little bit too, but yeah, guess it makes it unique. And probably really I should have done those areas down there with just the pink where they are in those triangles, but I just decided that I wanted to do them with the brown sort of colour like I've done in some of the other ones, although the other ones I notice are a bit different in the fact that they're sort of more even squares without that, like these triangles were just triangles at the bottom and then I had the other bits, so obviously I've drawn them slightly differently when I've done them. I obviously have. But it is what it is. It is. Still looks good, so that's all that matters. That's what I mean by it going kind of thicker, because I made a mistake and wobbled a bit and hence went off the grey line. So I'm trying to do it as straight as I can, but obviously by hand you can't really get it that straight, but I don't always like to use my rulers to do this part because I've noticed that the pen colour gets on the ruler and then stays on the ruler and then rubs off when you do the next pencil drawing bit, which means you can't erase it because it's the ink that's rubbed off. And yeah, I'm very picky, I'm sounding like. But I'm very picky with not wanting those things to happen, and a bit too perfectionist, I guess. And yeah, I don't like the not being having the ink rub off, even by accident, onto my image. So yeah, I just avoid using a ruler for this part and try to do it by hand as best I can. But obviously you can't get it perfectly straight doing it by hand. You can't, but you can do your best. Oh no, I do have some down there that sort of the triangle thing that I decided to just do the brown in. So down the very bottom, see down on these ones, I've got a bit of the brown where the triangle goes over. So yeah. And obviously everything ends up being drawn slightly differently, particularly if you're doing a lot of it by hand. Like those lines I drew by ruler, but I couldn't get each the same, even though I did the boxes the same size. It's not always easy to get the squares the same size in each area, and blah blah blah. So I'm happy with it as it is. I am. Don't want to rub that colour off as I'm doing this, but I'm worried the brace will rub it off. Yeah. These cloth things, one thing about them, they really pick up Lily's hair, even if they aren't where she is. They seem to be a bit sort of static-y kind of thing. Like, not static-y, but at the same time they seem to just, the hairs seem to stick and catch in the fibres of these cloths that I'm using. I'm not sure what they are, but yeah, I think there's some sort of cleaning cloth or something that I'm using, so it kind of makes sense that they would pick up things like that easily. That one went quite crooked. Fortunately, I caught it before it went too bad, but it's still not great. But hey, it's art and it's hand by hand, so. And with a bung hand / wrist, you do the best you can. Because I don't think they are quite as straight as the bottom ones, but yeah. Definitely not as straight as the bottom ones. Because this brace is kind of in the way and limiting my movement. with my wrist, which normally I would use my wrist and the movement in it to adjust the pen as I'm drawing the line. I normally would, but I can't bend my wrist properly to adjust that movement. I know I could just use a ruler, but I just don't want pen all over my ruler rubbing off on things. So, because I've noticed that the pen never actually properly dries on the ruler for some reason. It's just something I've noticed, particularly plastic rulers. But yeah, so anyway, that's that done. There is a definite difference in colour between the top and the bottom. Who knows, maybe with time that'll level out more. Maybe it won't, and I've just noticed this camera is, no wonder I'm having to put the book crooked to do that, because the camera tripod's crooked. Yeah, but yeah, so who knows, maybe the colour will fade more on that or pale out over time. I don't know. I could have just done that with a lighter hand. I really don't know, but I don't mind it. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this part. If you have, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I always love hearing from you, and I will see you next time. Bye.